Good day, Tamers. Welcome back to some more fun times with Get It Swiftly, and we're going to do a second black deck because it's a fairly cheap deck, and you're probably going to have most of these cards available to you within reason or within $40. Welcome to space. So we're going to be looking at Galacticmon or Venmon speed mode. We're going to run one Pagamon. Again, same for yesterday's video where we had the Commandramons in play, and we have 4 Doraemons because you do kind of suck up your own things quite a lot here. It's essentially a black version of D-Mother, where the Sucky is happening a lot of the time. So, Venmon is your main card here. You may have to include 50 copies of this in this deck. We only include 20 in this deck. Main, by suspending this Digimon, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add up to 1 Snatch, 1 Destru, 1 Galacti, or 1 Fusionize amongst them to your hand, and place 1 Venmon amongst them under this Digimon as its bottom Dilution card. Place the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. If this is from the breeding area, you'll have the Doraemon underneath you, which means you get to draw a card afterwards. It's very, very good. Snatchmon. When Digivolving, you may place up to 2 Venmons from your trash under this Digimon as a bottom Digivolution card. Then, if there are 4 or more Venmons in this, you may return 1 Fusionize from your trash to your hand. Very good, right? All turns, once per turn, when Venmon is placed from this Digimon's Digivolution cards at the bottom of the owner's deck, spend this Digimon and it gains blocker until the end of your opponent's turn. Fairly good. Destromon now. When Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Place 1 Venmon among them from under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution card. Crash the rest. Then, if there are 5 or more Venmon in this Digimon Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Tamers. This is one of the very few Tamer deletions you have access to during this color wash meta that we have. The only other one that I can think of on top of my head is Chaos Mode. Lucy Boy. Opponent's turn once per turn. When opponent's Digimon attacks by placing 2 Venmons from your Galacticmon's Digivolution cards at the bottom of their owner's deck, choose the target of that attack to this Digimon. Pretty damn good. This does weirdly interact with like Marsmon if it has Grap Leo under its sources, because as long as the original source changes, it will pop a security. So you can kind of see like where this came from in terms of like synergy as in thematics as well. Then Galacticmon, as we all know, is a big bad boy, but I can't see anything, so let's have a quick look. Digivolve Snatchmon from 9, or from a level 5 or 6. When Digivolving, you may place up to 4 Venmons from your trash under this Digimon as its bottom Digivolution cards. Then, if there are 8 or more Venmons in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Just pop one, it's fine. All turns when this Digimon would leave the battle area by placing 4 Venmons from this Digimon's Digivolution card to the bottom of the owner's deck, prevent it from leaving play. Also, because it goes to deck as well, it stops you from decking out. It's a very hard deck to get rid of by deck out. Start of your main phase, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Sure. Yeah, I'll just whittle it down. Currently, though, it's very hard to get 2 of these out, so you are just whittling it over time and then maybe swinging into your opponent. Fusionize, when you would use this card, if you have a Snatchmon in play, reduce the cost by 1. Main, by placing 1 Venmon or Destructimon from your trash under one of your Digimon as its bottom Digivolution cards, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a Destro or Galacticmon from your trash for its Digivolution cost, which is pretty darn good. Security, you may reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Play 1 Venmon amongst them, outpaying the cost. Trash the rest. We love trash decks, right, guys? DG Dimension, if you saw yesterday's video, it is just Digivolve 1 of 3 of your opponents, and then delete 3 of your opponents' Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less. Very good against wide boards, not so great against obviously big stack things, but this is why you only run one of it. It's good to have in hand as opposed to being into security, but if he's in security, it does activate its main card effect. Ultimate Flare, trigger Digivolve 3, and then delete of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 3 or less. Again, in big stack meta, it's not so great, but it's just being able to stop them having the big damage source at the top, whittling down to their, like, maybe first ultimate or maybe their last beautiful champion. Does put you in a better position than some other decks would. Unfinished Onslaught, delete of your opponent's Digimon with the highest play cost. If your opponent somehow gets like 2 big Digimon out in the field and you get to do this from security or like that, it's amazing. But again, you're only running one of these. A lot of people think that you're running 4 or 3 of certain things. So when they do see like different things come up, they get very confused and a bit worried. And then Pride Memory Boost, we're going to play 4 of these because it's so good. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, and you may play 1 black Digimon card with a play cost of 4 or less amongst them. Put the rest of the trash. So as you can see, 6, 10, 14. But we do get Mr. Venmon here as a free cost, which means he's always going to do it. And if you're lucky, you find 3, putting 2 into the trash, and then just being able to put this onto the field is very, very good. Black Memory Boost, this is probably more really to find your Galactimons and your Destros or Snatchmons. If you're in trouble, you're going to play 2 of these. Again, we're in a meta where memory stoppage is going to be very high. But at least you got a way to get rid of them very early. You're going to be in a lot of trouble. Quick Blast Fire Father! We have a Digimon with Hookmon or Systemon or a Royal Knight in traits. You may play this without meeting its color requirements. Playing a black deck, so it doesn't matter to us. And the link with your opponent's Digimon with play cost of 13 or less. As I said in yesterday's video, there's not a lot of Digimon that have 14 or more playcost in this current monocolor imagination. But we do get to have 14 here, which means that you don't have to worry about hitting that in the matchup because you cannot be destroyed by your opponent's smelly card. Laser Cannon. Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, and then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with playcost of 5 or less. Again, this is just here because you're throwing them off. People don't understand the ratios, and sometimes it's better because you go, oh, you've got a champion in there that costs 5. I'm going to use this for 5, go to your turn for 2. Pop your Digimon. All right, you're at 2. And then Breath of the Gods, just a really good card in black. Main, one of your Digimon gains reboot. Why not? And then this Digimon kind of is deeply reduced or will be returned to the owner's hand or deck until the end of your opponent's next turn. Your opponent's Digimon can't attack players for the turn if he's in security. Very good card. Slows the game down just enough for you to get where you need to be. And to be fair, it's somewhat slept on, somewhat forgotten. I do see some people saying that they want to play Kogu in this, because it's also a very good card, and it stops things with 7 cost or less from swinging. But right now, in a stack meta where people are going to be getting their 13, 14, 11, 12 costs out first before they start swinging, it's not as good as it was. It's very good into a certain deck that's probably possibly going to turn up during the weekend. We shall see. And that is another deck done. So, to space we go, and we'll see you guys next time for some more deck action. Peace out and goodbye, and see you soon.